She says, advice needed. My boyfriend gave me an ultimatum. Am I the a-hole? So I did the story just yesterday, and there was an update. Someone alerted me that there was an update. Just putting it out there, there's a trigger warning. She did lose the baby. So just putting that out there, spoiler alert for the people who need to scroll away. She says, am I the a-hole? This is the update to Am I the a-hole to be upset over my boyfriend's ultimatum? She says, since so many people asked for the update, I started spotting last night. This morning at work, I started bleeding heavily. I asked my boyfriend to take me to the hospital, but he got in an argument with me because I spent the night at my brother's without letting him know. I took an Uber, and my brother's wife drove from work and met me at the hospital. It's over. I lost the baby. My body failed me and wasn't a good host for the baby. I'm so grateful my sister-in-law was with me as I sobbed. Meanwhile, my boyfriend, or should I say ex-boyfriend, who had the day off, he sat at home and played video games. He was punishing me. When my sister-in-law told my brother about my miscarriage, he texted back and said he was heartbroken for me and I should stay with them to recover. When I texted my boyfriend from the hospital, his reply was, well, that's a relief. Problem solved itself. Then continued by complaining about how the new game controller he bought is already not working. It really hit me. He didn't care how I felt all along. He didn't come to the hospital with me. He didn't even ask how I was doing. He was so happy he is off the hook. I just text him back that I can't do this anymore. It's over. So far, no reply. I'm staying at my brother's tonight. I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken and sad. First of all, miscarriages happen. They do. And also, this man is 44 years old. It might not necessarily have been your body that wasn't a good host. It could have been his sperm. A lot of times women get blamed for miscarriages, but sometimes it is faulty sperm. And also, there was stress in your life. This wasn't a good combination. This relationship wasn't a good it wasn't a good relationship. You were under stress. Sometimes stress can cause your body to reject a pregnancy. There are about 25% of pregnancies are non-viable and end in miscarriages. It happens. I had two in between my two children. So I know the feeling of being sad and upset and like wondering why your body isn't doing what people make it seem that it's supposed to do. We have to talk about these things so women don't take this all on ourselves that is something that we did wrong or there was something we could have done better or whatever. But the situation did take itself out despite the fact that she's heartbroken and sad. She didn't need to be with this man. And if she really does want to have a child, it is probably going to be better to do so with a person that is more suited to be a partner, not someone that takes your feelings for granted and is so dismissive. So that's my 2 cents. I will do just a few of these comments since this isn't. This person says, in the long run, you'll look back and be glad you saw who he truly is and not years from now. I'm so sorry for your loss. This person says, I didn't see the original post, so this got me flabbergasted to say the least. I'm so sorry for your loss and for how unbelievably insensitive of your partner, your ex-boyfriend was. You were bleeding at work. You asked him to take you to the hospital, but he started to argue over things instead. Big red flag. And then he proceeds to not even ask you how you're doing or feeling. What the hell? You deserve better. This comment right here. Your body didn't fail you, and if you ever think about taking him back, think to that moment. He purposely didn't take you to the hospital. He knew what would happen. Stay strong. This person says, I'm so sorry you're going through this, as I am right now too. It's a horrible thing to lose a baby, no matter the timing. Please be kind with yourself at this time. It's nothing you did wrong. I'm glad you have some support. Lean on them. I'm glad you've left him. Please don't go back. He does not care for you one bit. Best of luck to you. Also, please make sure you go for a follow-up appointment with an OB or a women's clinic health department for a check if you don't have a primary care doctor or a regular OBGYN. He sat on his butt and played video games while you were at the hospital. 44-year-old man. I'm glad you dumped him. This person says a 44-year-old man who plays the pull-out game. Not surprised. And finally, I'll end with, I'm so sorry for everything you're going through right now. My condolences for your loss and my best wishes so you're able to bounce back and recover. As for your ex, you're better off without him. He just showed you his true colors and made you realize he is not the person you need by your side to spend the rest of your life with. In a moment of need, his priority, no matter how upset he was, should have been you, not some stupid video games. So despite the how hurtful the miscarriage and everything surely are, you are free from a guy who demonstrated to be a horrible human being, not even asking how you are. Exactly. Just when people show you this type of thing, it hurts. It does. But it's that kind of hurt that reminds you to not go back. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I was tagged in this post in the polyamory subreddit, and since I was tagged, I'm pretty sure it's probably some mess. She says, don't know what to do now. Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I 100% know that this situation is my fault for agreeing to it. I, 29-year-old female, met my now boyfriend, who's 30, about a year and a half ago, and we immediately hit it off. We spent all day talking, making music, and just enjoying each other. I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and wasn't looking for anything serious, and he said he wasn't looking for a relationship at all because he wasn't good at them. Well, of course, feelings grow anyway. Valentine's Day last year, he buys me 6 dozen roses, and we had an amazing day. He stayed the night, and we've been inseparable since. He stayed the night every night after that, and now we live together after making it official last April. So here's where the issues begin. Long story short, one day he tells me he has to leave because he promised his sister he would spend the day with her, which he did, but only after going to his ex's house and sleeping with her. I shouldn't have gone through his phone, but meh. Of course, I confront him about it, and it becomes a big blowout. But with him confessing that he's into polyamory, and that it doesn't mean I'm not enough. He just needs variety, but not the kind where both partners are open, just him. So basically, he wants to sleep with and date whoever, whenever. But if I even show interest in another person, he's out. Had I known this in the beginning, this relationship would have never happened. This is all after he has completely made me cut ties with my ex, even though we barely spoke, but had a shared pet, so we'd talk for pickups and such. Then I find out that he's already been dating many people and that he has a long-term dating situationship with his hairstylist, a 54-year-old woman, which he obviously sees often. She wants a relationship with him and has no idea he's in a relationship already. I've always had a zero tolerance policy for cheating. It's just not my thing. And this wasn't my thing either. But I was already in love with him at this point, so I made the decision to try. We've been together for a year now, but the jealousy and anger is just getting worse. Every time he picks up his phone, I know he's talking to another woman, telling them how much he loves and cares for them, making them feel special. And it's getting to the point that him touching me makes me feel gross because I'm thinking about his other partners. I guess I'm looking for some advice here. I don't know what to do. Has anyone been in a mono poly relationship that actually worked out, or is he just making excuses to cheat? He claims that he's never told any other woman this. He just cheats on them, and that I'm the first person that he's been honest with. This situation is terrible, and I am so glad that I was tagged in this, because this is what these MFers do. This is not poly, and I'm not even an expert on polyamory or any of this, but this is just straight up being a liar. He's not open and honest. And with polyamory and this kind of thing, you need to let people know your intentions up front so she has the opportunity to be in or out. He is living with her. And so he gets to be refreshed, take the fruits of her labor, her resources, and her time and energy that comes with having a live in partner, and then be the best version to go out and sleep with other women that only have to see him periodically. This is a terrible dynamic. He is a parasite, he's a leech, and the advice is to kick him out of the apartment, sever ties, and leave this type of person alone. He's being manipulative. He's a liar. This is not something that is sustainable, especially since she's having a gag reflex for having him even touch her. Ew, gross. So the woman that tagged me says, commented for her to read to the end. Number one, as everyone has said, this is not poly. He is just cheating on you and completely disrespecting you. Number two, this man never had feelings for you. I imagine he did that grand gesture because he had nowhere to live and decided you would be the easiest to manipulate. Number three, you said in the comment that you are paying all the bills. So not only is he benefiting from you with a place to live, sleeping with multiple women and keeping you inside, you are also benefiting him financially. Oh my God. So I'm so glad that this woman typed up this comment that summed up some of the other comments because I didn't have time to go through all the comments. Oh my goodness. So he is a leech in many ways. Any money he does make is being spent on other women if he makes any at all. He could be having all these women bankrolling his life. Number four, I also have the suspicion that you buy all the food and do all the cooking and the cleaning. So he's essentially using you as a bang maid and sugar mama. Oh my God, this is terrible. I did not comment to this woman, but this is not about this woman. This is about anybody that is reading. Stop allowing these parasites to suck you dry. Like, literally, this is unsustainable. And she is literally a host for a parasite, and she's not getting anything in return. He's just sucking off of her, and he's disrespecting her, and he's a liar. Why be in a relationship with someone like this? She says, too long, don't read. You have a classic below minimum, low effort, homosexual male. I recommend checking out Manifestel, BurbNBougie. Hey, my girl Melanie Hamlet, that's my girl, on YouTube. They give great knowledge about what these men do and how and why. I would also recommend reading Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. Yes, that is a good book. You can find a free PDF copy here on Reddit. Just type it in somewhere or on Google. I didn't want to just give you the run of the mill. He sucks. Leave him, though you should for sure. However, I wanted to offer some actual resources that can help you know how to identify these toxic males and try to avoid this situation again in the future. I hope you read this and I hope this helps. Good luck. I'm pretty sure that this is the reason why people never really liked women coming together and talking, because this type of person doesn't deserve a woman at all. And once she detaches her parasite and puts him out, he is going to become unhoused because he is a user. Please don't allow this type of person to suck you dry. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, share. And thank you for tagging me on this one. So this is an Am I the A-hole thread from a man, and I'm not exactly sure how to take it, so you guys can definitely weigh in on this one. He says, am I the a-hole for expecting my wife to care for me while I'm extremely ill? He says, recently I unexpectedly became very sick after catching a virus from my toddler and 11-month-old daughters. So they got a lot of young kids in the house. I ended up with bronchitis and pneumonia. I had a fever of 105. I had severe coughing attacks and I was coughing up buckets of phlegm. I had severe chills and every night I'd be drenched in sweat from coughing and fever. I didn't sleep for 5 to 7 days, but for 30 minutes here and there. I had to visit the ER 3 times from severe chest pain and trouble breathing as my oxygen levels would regularly reach dangerous levels. I simply was not getting better. It just so happened that my wife had requested Friday and Monday off because our girls' daycare was closed. She did her best to care for the girls while I was isolated in the guest room. There were moments each day where she lost her temper with our toddler, and I had to muster whatever strength I had to console our daughter from the outbursts from my wife. She'd regularly snatch our daughter by the arm and drag her out of our bedroom and lock the door because she wasn't being quiet enough, leaving our daughter crying hysterically outside the door, trying to get back in. I didn't like it, but I tried to be understanding. My wife was just frustrated and overwhelmed. So I highlighted that part because I can understand you got three little kids and a sick spouse. So this woman is supposed to take on everything. And obviously she's probably frustrated, doesn't have sleep as well, and she's tired. And so what I really, before I even finished reading this completely, this part stuck out to me because it is expected that women and wives and moms do so much and have so much energy to give everybody else. And that's the reason why some of these nuclear families don't always work, because without some support system, somebody is going to get to their wits' end. Frustration happens, sleep deprivation happens. This type of thing happens. And the way he's painting her, like he says, my wife was just frustrated and overwhelmed. But then he's sitting up here wondering if he or she is the a-hole. Like, what do you really expect? There's only so much time, energy, and resources to go around, and three small children take that up. This is another reason why we need so much more support in our communities, in our families. Okay, but let me get back to this. He says, a few days into my illness, I'd already been to the ER twice and I was not improving. I shared with my wife that I was getting worried if I got any worse, I might die. I started to feel disoriented and dizzy along with my other symptoms. That same night, she told me she'd be going to work the next day, Monday, and taking our two daughters with her. I asked why this was necessary, and she said she had a small project she needed to complete that was important to her. I told her that from my perspective, work could wait. I needed her. She was off anyway, and her boss is very understanding, and they'd figure it out. I didn't understand why she also felt the need to burden herself with work. She went anyway and left me alone for about 5 hours that day. I was upset and disappointed by this, and my wife could care less. The whole time I've been sick, she showed no empathy for me and was more annoyed than anything I wasn't able to provide the utility I normally provide. I had to go back to the ER the day after she went to work, and thankfully I've started to feel a bit better now. It's been 2 weeks. Nonetheless, it's led to a deep division in this relationship with my wife. This is not out of the ordinary for her. She regularly puts work um, and everyone else before me. It just feels like this could be the last straw for me if I can't even count on her when I'm sick. Of course, she thinks I'm being dramatic and she sees nothing wrong with what she did. She started the public campaign of making me the a-hole for expecting her to stay home and care for me. Am I the a-hole for expecting my wife to care and support me when I'm extremely sick? Is that really an unreasonable request? I would certainly need to hear the wife's perspective on this, because obviously it's not an unreasonable request to, need some attention when you're sick. However, she is juggling three kids and she works, and she probably did need an outlet. She was probably going crazy and probably figured he'd be okay for 5 hours. So we're getting his side. We definitely see a man who's sick, and we do know that sometimes when men are sick, they are extra, extra. So I don't really know where I land on this, but some of the comments did illuminate some things. So I was tagged in this post. Man expects wife to take care of him while she juggles taking care of an infant and toddler. He even spouts red pill talking points in the comments. The modern woman, it's an epidemic in today's society. I didn't see that comment, but this is the reason why I say more things get illuminated in the comments. So his profile name is Protecting My Girls. I'm just highlighting that. That just kind of stood out to me. Now, this person, Lego Tech, says, your post history on this account seems to indicate you want to find a reason to leave her. Get couples counseling or pull your socks up and go. It doesn't have to be her fault before you separate, unless there's a prenup you are trying to invalidate or something. And so then the OP says, not looking for a reason to leave. Most people that know our situation would probably say I have plenty of reasons to do that already. I value different perspectives and I relish the opportunity to learn from others. It's not always easy hearing it, but there's a value in it. And this person says, are you lying to us or to yourself? You are looking for either a reason or permission to leave. Either that or you just like talking ish about her online for shits and giggles. He continues with, there are no other solutions here. None. You've been looking for a group to slag her off with and insult her for literally months, almost a year. Just effing divorce. There's no other way to this ends. None. This person took the quote, most people that know our situation would probably say, I already have plenty of reasons to do that already, and says, oh, please. Go leave your terrible, awful, poor excuse for a wife who has the audacity to take care of you and your sick children all on her own for days, likely while being sick herself. She didn't do enough for you. A grown man can't possibly stay home alone for 5 hours while he's sick. She's evil and you deserve so much better. Yeah, that's kind of where I was as I was reading this. I'm like, 5 hours? Oh my God. And he's about to break down. But also, yeah, I don't know. That's the reason why I said I didn't really know what to say about this, because he's feeling aggrieved and she's probably just tired. This person says, leave her. Maybe then she could find someone who doesn't talk about her on Reddit, even when they're clearly wrong, or someone who doesn't assert that she's a narcissist on the internet. You can't even take care of yourself for 5 hours. I highly doubt you survive long enough without your wife, you dweeb. This person says, I wish I got 5 hours alone when I'm sick. Sounds so amazing. And then this person says, your post history says otherwise. And so that's when I started looking at his post history. So obviously we have the one that we're in where he's sick. And then towards the bottom, 8 months ago, he was upset that she was obsessing over her estranged family instead of just being happy with him. Then 2 months ago, he says, am I married to a narcissist? And then a month ago, he says, am I the a-hole for asking my wife to spend more quality time together? And then a month ago, he says, am I the a-hole for asking my wife? Oh, no, that's the same thing. So I went to this one where he's asking if he is married to a narcissist. He's talking about that he's been with his wife for 10 years. He got with her when he was broken. He met her while he was with someone. He was dating his high school sweetheart. So I'm skipped to the middle. My first 8 years together with my now wife were hell. It was a constant roller coaster of trauma that came and went every 3 months minimum. I mean, the first 6 months did feel so perfect, but then tons of cheating on her part, probably 30 times with just as many men, slowly destroyed me. Yet I couldn't let go. I always felt like it was my fault and I had to fix it. And believe me, I tried. I always blame myself. She even had a joke about my ability to see she was about to cheat and was why she cheated. So he still married her, even though she was cheating on him. And they sound like they are in this cycle. I don't know. And I don't know what it is where somebody is always feeling aggrieved but still sticks around. I think that that is some kind of narcissist as well. Y'all weigh in the comments, because I know that playing the victim and always being a victim is also something that needs to be talked about. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.